Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Broad Motherfucking Topics. I'm your host, Kim Congdon, here with my beautiful co-host,
Alex Scarlato. Kimmy, I miss you. How are you?
It feels like it's been forever. Oh,
I mean, in reality, it's been like 10 days since Kim and I talked, but it literally feels like forever. I wanted to tell you how thankful I am for you this Thanksgiving season. You're my
I'm
queen.
thankful for you.
I'm thankful for Bobby and Frank as well, but I'm like extremely thankful for you. No offense,
Right, I'm thankful
boys.
for them too, but like more for.
Same here. Are you okay? What's going on with your microphone?
No, it's like unplugging and plugging.
Plug that shit.
Good.
I think so. Talk more.
The guys in production are in. Can we get Kim's mic right in the chat? Who's so pissed.
See, this is why I'm more grateful for her.
Is it good now?
I think so.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, dude. Thanksgiving wasn't the same without you, even though we've never had one together.
Never once. Not once in our lifetimes. But imagine if we did, how nice that would be.
Me and you at our own Thanksgiving table together.
Our own Thanksgiving. Our own stuffing.
Our own stuffing.
I could stuff you with my stuffing and you could stuff me with yours.
Let's stuff each other.
Stuff each other. Dude, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, I think. And every year I don't realize it, but then every year it comes around and like, holy shit, the food. I don't eat all year just so I could eat on Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
It's my favorite. It's legitimately my favorite holiday.
No, me too. It really is. The way that Thanksgiving food, it's like the way that it's my favorite meal is the craziest thing ever. I want to have it once a month. Is it weird to cook Thanksgiving dinner outside of Thanksgiving night? Because I want to start doing
Wawa?
it. Not in New York, but it's on the East Coast. I do love Wawa.
Wawa used to have this Thanksgiving sandwich, and it was so fucking good. They got rid of it. It was like turkey, stuffing, cranberries, gravy, and like Preston bread.
That sounds amazing.
That was so good.
I love them. My mom told me that she made Thanksgiving dinner for my first birthday party, and I thought that was the cutest, sweetest thing ever.
That's really cute.
It's really cute. It's a little weird, like my birthday's in January, but I still think it's very cute that she was like, let's have Thanksgiving for her birthday.
Right.
Oh.
My parents threw an extravagant first birthday, and my mom was like, you were the only child that got that because I realized you would never remember it, and we spent so much money. And then I watched my friends like open one present with their kid from Dollar Tree. It was the same amount of excitement. But I mean, I guess, I don't know.
Damn it. That's got to be frustrating.
Oh my God. My Thanksgiving was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was with Emily, and she has these these neighbors, and they were like, come over for Friendsgiving. We're doing like a little thing outside. We show up. They have like a lot of places in LA, like a lot of the poor artists, it'll be like a huge house, and then it'll be like a small guest house in the back, and the artist will live in the guest house. And that's like a lot of the setups in LA. And they lived in like this cute little guest house. And we show up, and they have like a table outside. They have like those cute stringy lights above us. And then they have like candles on the table, and like everyone's eating. They have a huge bonfire. It's so sweet. So fun. And then we eat dinner. We have fun. We're all smoking, eating, drinking wine. The vibe is good. All the people, there's probably 6 or 7 people there. It was pretty small. All the people were really cool, really chill, all different kinds of artists. Everybody was super friendly. You know, like they were so friendly. You ever meet someone and they like get so comfortable with you so quick? Like I met there was this gay guy there. His name was Nathaniel. And like 10 seconds into meeting him, he like came and cuddled up next to me at the fire. And I was like, oh, this is such a good feeling of people. You know?
What's fucked up about me is that when somebody starts like acting like they're very close to me that quickly, I get weirded out. I'm like, oh, there must be a problem with them for liking me so much so quickly. I start to judge them as if they're weird because they like me so much immediately.
That's so sad,
like,
Alex.
Isn't that sad?
I wish you didn't
that'll
think
fuck
that.
me up. Somebody
Yeah.
cuddling with me after 10 seconds, I'm like, no, you must have problems. Why are you on me?
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I was like, I guess he just really gets it.
I guess he knows who's important here and who's worth being close to.
I guess someone knows how to network. But it was so great. And then we had the dinner, and then we were sitting around the fire, and we were sitting by a huge empty underground pool. And I was like, oh, the pool's so cool. And they had this projector that was playing off the side of the pool. They like put a projector in and they were playing. I know, it was so cool. So there's like, they were playing underwater shit in the pool, like National Geographic Oceans in the pool.
Stop it. That's trippy. I like it. This is something that only artist people would do. You could tell when you're at a fucking artist party because there's a projector in the swimming pool.
Yeah. And people named Nathaniel.
Yeah. There's a gay here named Nathaniel and the projector's in the pool.
Nathaniel won't stop dancing and the projector's in the pool. Nathaniel just kept doing ballet twirls. It was so funny.
I love that. Anybody who's doing ballet at a party is actually my friend. I take it back, Nathaniel.
And so I was like, oh, the pool is so cool. I love the projector. And she's like, let's go in. And I was like, what? And it's an empty pool. There's no water in it. So
is it heated? I don't know.
These two girls that live there start pulling out pillows, blankets, like all of this shit. Like first of all, I was shocked by how many blankets these bitches owned.
Oh, these are comfort bitches.
These are comfort bitches. They took the entire bonfire, carried it into the pool so that it lit up the pool and like made it warm down there because it was like 55 degrees. It lit up and then they started throwing blankets down. I am not exaggerating when it was at least over 10 blankets, which is a lot for two people to own.
That's a lot of blankets. I kind of get it though.
Paddings.
When I went to that girl's house who had the hot tub, the way that she had like 12 people over and she was like, here, everybody take a robe. And she just handed out robes.
Jeff Ross does that. Jeff Ross does that. He's like, I have 30 robes. Everyone wear one. I'm like, how do people have so many robes?
Why do you have so many robes? I have enough robes that I could do that. But it was weird to me that anybody else did. And so I respect
have enough robes that you have 20 robes?
Sis, I tried to tell you about my robes. I got at least 18 robes.
That's entirely too much.
But they're not all good for like walking into the cold outside. Like they're all a little different. I got a robe for every occasion, you know?
Wow. I have one robe.
It's different.
I have one robe. No, I don't even have a robe.
I would have to toss my silk robes aside. I would have to toss all the light halfway robes aside if I were trying to keep people warm near a hot tub outside. So I don't have the ability. This was just crazy to me. But I respect somebody who has a ton of comfort items. I aspire to be these girls when I have my own place. I want to have 12 to 24 blankets at all times.
Same. And like, so they're starting to fill up the bottom of the pool with like blankets and pillows and cushions. And then they bring the fire down there. And then they actually bring like a projector wall instead of just putting it off the side of the pool. And then, so yeah, they have like a whole projector screen.
How do you do that? How are you going to do that? That doesn't
like
sound
popped up. It was like a thing that popped open and they like pulled it. You know, the teachers, how they pull the screen down?
Yeah.
It was like something like that, like a giant board, and they just rolled it down in the pool. And then they put on something cool, some National Geographic type thing or something trippy like that.
Are you guys in the deep end of the pool or the shallow end?
We're in the deep end and the projector's in the shallow end.
Okay.
So we're like in the deep end like this, like in the bottom pit of it.
You're in like the nook of the deep end of the pool.
Yes, and the projector's like above us because it's in the shallow end. So it was cool. It was like looking down at us. It was like a movie theater. And
amazing.
And then the fire is in between both of those, like in the middle of the pool. And
yeah, I'm like, this is the most jealous I've ever been since you left. I mean, like you do cool things in LA all the time, but I want to be part of this.
Oh, you're jealous? Wait, give me another 30 seconds.
All right.
Then
okay.
we're all laying there passing joints and smoking and hanging out. And this dude comes up and starts handing everyone a stem and a half.
A stem and a half?
A stem and a half, which is, I was like, how much is this? And he was like, it's like a gram.
That's the perfect amount.
And I was like, okay. And you know me, I'm for the last few years, I've been strictly microdose. So it got me. I mean, I've been 0.3 for the last 3 years, 0.4.
Honestly, 0.3, 0.4 will take you so much further than people give it credit for.
A microdose, people don't understand how much fun you can have with a micro. And like the thing I like about a microdose is it doesn't give you, when I took this stem and a half, a stem and a half.
Stem and a half, bro.
It sounds like another nickname for us. A stem and a half.
A stem and a half. It sounds like a fucking Dr. Seuss book of some kind. I want to write a Dr. Seuss book about mushrooms. A stem and a half.
A stem with a hem and a lem. I do not like stems in my pens. I was saying the microdosing and like the stem and a half, when you get at a certain point with mushrooms, like it gets a little intense. It truly does, where you have to sort of take a moment inside yourself and be like, I'm safe. I'm okay. Everything's going to continue happening. And I sometimes don't like that.
I don't love that. I noticed that with mushrooms and with Molly. I think those two things more than anything else, there's going to be a moment where you're like, holy shit, I don't know if I was prepared for this. Like, I know I agreed to it, but I don't know if I knew what I was signing up for.
It feels like you're a person who's been told you're going to die for months. And then you're like, I'm fine with it. I'm at peace with it. And then on your deathbed, you're like, no, right before it comes. That's how the mushrooms feel at a certain point. Like, you're like, no, I wasn't ready. I thought I was.
I changed my mind. Yeah. But then it's interesting because you have like a minute and a half window to like feel a little shitty and like accept that you're not happy with how high you are right now. And you have to just be okay with it by the end of the minute and a half, or else it's all going downhill.
Totally. And then we were laying there and Emily, I mean, the way I took the stem and I was like, I'll take the half in a minute. And the way that Emily next to me just ate it and like was begging for more stems, she was like ready. You know what I mean? She wanted to be in it. And so I start to get it really high. And I'm getting to that point where I'm going like, I notice like one person's talking to me, another person's talking to me, the projector's distracting. There's like someone's phone going off in the background. And I notice that suddenly all those things are happening at once and I'm getting overwhelmed. And I'm like, and I was like, why am I panicking? And I was like, oh yeah, mushrooms. And I look over at Emily next to me and I remember I said to her, I was like, does it get worse than this? It's like, I started mushroom panicking. I was like, is it more intense than this? Or like, are you peaking? She's like, I'm good. I'm peaking and I feel like I'm going back down, which is what you want. You know what I mean? You want to get there and then sort of stay here. I don't want to do this.
No.
I want to do this and then curve it out and then go back down.
Once you're peaking, you want to know that the panic's not going to get worse. You're like, can I just slide down a hill and kind of coast from here on out? Like that, you want it to coast.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And I did this thing that I sometimes do when I take mushrooms, and they're a decent amount, and I panic napped. I don't know if
really
I told you this before. I told you when I tried to sleep on the street outside of Jefferson and tried to take a nap in the street.
I swear to God, before you said panic nap, when you said, I did this thing that I sometimes do when I take a bunch of mushrooms, I swear to God, I thought you were going to say, I became the center of attention and I was the life of the entire party.
Oh, sister, give me 30 more seconds.
Okay. The nap really threw me for a loop. I was like, I thought you were going to say that you got up and did a show tune and you just...
I put my head under the blanket. I literally told Emily, I was like, I think I have to take a nap. I'm kind of freaking out. And I swear I do this thing on mushrooms. I'll pass out if I get too nervous on mushrooms. My brain will be like, you know what? If you can't handle it, we're just going to shut off for a few minutes until it gets better. And so I go under the blanket. I'm napping. And probably like 5 to 10 minutes goes by and I hear people finally notice I'm under there and they're like, hey, is she okay? And Emily's like, yeah, she's taking a quick nap. And everybody's like, what the fuck? Like everyone's so confused because who naps on mushrooms? And then I kept passing out. And then they started calling me Nap Kim.
No, like napkin, but napkin.
Yes.
Why does that hurt?
I was like, you can call me, and then the mushroom started kicking in, and I started being Mushroom Kim. You know, Mushroom Kim.
Mushroom
I was like,
Kim is such a party. I can't even tell you.
I was like, you can call me Nap Kim, but if you call me Kim Napping, it's a whole different story. Oh, it was so good. Then I started making puns about being in the pool. I was like, I don't know, guys, I'm panicking. I feel like I'm 6 feet under. I was just killing in the pool, killing. I was like, listen, I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm going to dive right in here.
Oh, fuck.
I was singing, I'm off the deep end. I was doing anything for attention. I was murdering in the pool. So yeah, you were right. I did come out.
Doing anything for attention is the way I would describe Kim on mushrooms. Oh shit, that sounds fantastic. I'm so jealous. I think that sounds like an ultimate tripping experience. Dude, inside of an empty pool with a fucking projector.
It was so fun. And,
yeah,
and we all tripped, like everyone tripped pretty hard. We all stayed the night. Like we camped out there. And we all woke up in the morning and left. I know.
I love that. I'm super jealous. You know, it makes me think of how different a Friendsgiving is from Thanksgiving with the family.
Like, absolutely.
The way that never could have happened for me on Thursday.
You and your mom and your dad in an empty pool and a projector tripping on shrooms.
My aunts and uncles, cousins, everybody's there.
Do you have any bad cousins yet, though, that like to go out and smoke with you?
Well, I'm in a weird position because I'm like in between generations of my family. So I have a set of cousins who's like way older than me and a set of cousins who's way younger. And I was like the only one of my own age group. So on my dad's side, like there's a few people I could like give the look across the room and smoke weed with. But on my mom's side, it's literally just one cousin and he has 3 kids who are always there. So it's usually just me sneaking outside to smoke alone. And then sometimes I'll smoke with the cigarette smokers of the family, but their asses are fucking judging my weed smoking, which I think is crazy.
It's insane when people do that.
Yeah.
It's like, you're the dirty one. There's only one dirty one here, and it's not me.
I mean, the way that last time I was with, I went to DC with my cousin a couple months ago, and we were staying in the same hotel room together. So I was like, this is when she's just going to find out that I smoke weed. I'm going to have to tonight.
Right.
So she went outside to smoke a cigarette and I was like, oh, I'll come down with you, whatever, just playing it cool. My parents were there too. Like my parents were at the hotel too. They were just in a different room. And it was so weird the way that my parents were totally fine with me going outside to smoke a joint before bed. And my fucking cousin was like, that's disgusting. If you ever show this to my children, I'll disown you. This is awful. I can't believe it. And I was like, you smoked 2 cigarettes since we've been out here.
She was saying it while taking a hit of the cigarette.
Yes. She was.
No.
Yeah.
The judgment.
So much. But yeah, on Thanksgiving this year, we had it at my house and we had it downstairs. So I just left the windows open in my room and I left the bong like in the corner by the window. And every couple minutes, every like 15, 20 minutes.
Every 15 seconds.
Every couple of seconds, I'd come upstairs.
And they would just hear this.
I'm impressed right now.
I knew you would like that.
Have you practiced that?
What?
Have you practiced that? Was that your first time or what?
Well, that's like a funny thing I've been doing since like middle school. I used to be like, you guys want to hear me smoke a bong? And I would do this whole thing. Watch.
Oh, she's lighting it with her thumb. That was really good, Kim.
It sounds so real, right?
Every time you do it, I'm nervous that you're going to fucking choke to death somehow.
No, it's so easy.
She's taking a sip of a drink and then leaning her head forward, and she has the liquid in her mouth, and she's making a bubbly sound somehow.
I'm breathing in.
Yes, that's exactly. It seems like you're going to possibly. It's so funny if that's the way you die.
I hope.
I'm so sorry.
If I go anyway, I hope it's doing a fake bomb.
It's really funny if Kim accidentally fucking chokes to death in her apartment doing a fake bong noise.
It sounds so real.
It was good. Yeah. It's not bad.
So that's what your family heard.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like pretty much.
Wow.
And I would also having the fucking windows open and blowing the smoke out the window, I think is hilarious because the way that I was so proud of myself
out there in the yard.
I'm like proud of myself for how little of the smoke actually came into the room. I'm like, wow, it really all got outside. And then I just picture my house from any neighbor's perspective. Like if you just happen to be looking up at my house, just seeing like one giant plume of smoke come out of one window on Thanksgiving, you have to know exactly what's happening.
It's obviously from your room.
So obvious.
Your mother's trying to like lie. She's like, oh, it's that ghost again.
We have a ghost in the house that's just this ball of smoke.
And he smells just like weed. And he only comes around when Alex is in her room every 15 seconds.
Honestly, if you get to come back and haunt people as like whatever form you want to, I want to just be a fucking
weed smoke.
Puff of weed smoke.
That's really funny. Every time you're like, I miss Alex.
Alex is here. She's always with us.
She's always with us. Even when I blow out the weed smoke, I go, there you are. When I blow it out, it comes in the form of you for a second, like Mufasa, like Mufasa in the sky.
Yeah, I like that. Like
you go like this, Kim, the simp and the imp. Remember. Oh wait, what was it? The simp and the chimp. The simp and the chimp. Remember. And then
I'm picturing myself like what a genie looks like when they're first coming out of the lamp. Like that's me coming out of your lungs.
It's so funny because when you said that, I imagine a genie coming jizz out of the lamp, like jerking off in the lamp, and then it shoots out of the spout.
You're saying you're so far gone that just the word coming is, you automatically think of the second definition of coming?
Yes.
Because that's like a word you gotta use.
I love that you described it as so far gone.
You're so far gone.
I am.
You're so deep into slut world.
I'm off the deep end. Watch as I dive in.
Yeah, fuck. That really does sound like the best Thanksgiving ever. Mine was fine. We had like 6 people over. It was so crazy to me that we had 6 people here. And I swear to God, it was exactly as loud as it is when there's 30 people here. I don't know how we did it. It was
it's Italians.
It was so loud. It was fucking wild.
Italians noise meter is like counting doing like a dog's age. Like if 6 the noise for 6 people, you have to multiply it by 7 for Italians. So you actually had 42 people there.
That's exactly what it is. Holy shit. Yeah, and I realized something crazy, which is I don't know how it took me all this time to realize, but I think the reason I need so much attention in life is because all of the women in my family need to be the center of attention at all times. So when we're all together, I've always just kind of gone by the wayside. I'm somehow the quietest person in my family, and I mean that.
I can see that, actually.
Like, I think that's why I needed to like start a podcast and like find a place to talk, because none of them listen to me. It's like I'm not there.
You were so quiet at Gas for so long.
Was I?
You were quieter. I remember like the months where I saw you start like breaking out of your shell.
Well, I don't know if I was like that with everybody. You specifically intimidated me the first couple times we hung out. Like I was like better off being quiet around kids. Like I remember the first Skankfest that we met at the Creek in the Cave. I was like, she's so cool. Just don't say anything to her. In case she doesn't like what you say and doesn't like you. Like I was just like,
what?
I was just nervous.
You're so dumb for that.
And I've always been more nervous around the girls in comedy than the dudes.
So funny because when I first saw you, I was like, she's so sweet and cool. I was like, she's so sweet and cool. I need to tell her everything.
I was intimidated. I mean, people
mind, tell me that.
Yeah, but not only that, you're like a comic and everything. Yeah. Like before we became friends, it was like I had this level of like admiration and like was very nervous around you. For sure. I don't know. It's here somewhere. It's deep. You pull it out every now and again, but it just comes out as if I'm in love with you.
Oh,
It doesn't come out right anymore. I don't know.
something's fucked up in there. We gotta put some WD-40 on that.
It's all twisted.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh man, that's crazy. So you had loud Italians. You had you truly had such a different Thanksgiving than me.
I really did. I'm so jealous. I mean, it was nice. My Thanksgiving was fine, you
know? Did you watch the fights last night?
I did watch the fights last night. I fell asleep during like the last 30 to 40 minutes of the Tyson Jones fight. But
you fell asleep during the entire main event is what you're saying. So you didn't watch the fight. That's the fight, Alex.
You know what?
What are you talking about?
First of all, I sat there watching fights for hours on end being like, is the main event coming up fucking soon? Maybe the next one will be the Jake Paul one. And it was just like more and more fights that I didn't give a fuck about that I watched every minute of.
Yeah. And I honestly watched from Jake Paul on. I napped before.
For at least what felt like 2 hours before Jake Paul was even on.
Yeah, that's how, they're usually like 3 hours long.
It was too much. And then by the time I was really excited when the Tyson Jones fight came on, I even put a bet down against Lewis. I was like, I had money in it. And then I watched maybe one round of it and fell asleep.
Did you win the bet?
No, they tied.
Oh, yeah.
So lame.
So nobody wins any of that money.
Nobody won the bet. Nothing. Like it was, I woke up and I was like, I guess I didn't miss anything. I guess I just got a good like 40 minutes of sleep. And then I drove home.
As soon as they tied, I was like, that's not real. Obviously, Tyson won. Obviously.
My money was on Tyson, by the way.
I mean, did you see the difference? One looked like an old man that just left Thanksgiving dinner. And the other one looked like he used to be a professional boxer.
I'll be honest with you, Kim. I didn't much see the difference because I was sleeping.
I love that you're like, yeah, I watched a fight except for the last 40 minutes of the Tyson fight. And I'm like, that's the fight. That's a fight everybody was looking for, was that fight.
It was, but you know what? It was the fight everybody was disappointed by in the end of the night, I feel.
Jake Paul came through.
Jake Paul's fight was so much fun to watch because, I mean, I don't watch boxing. I know nothing about boxing, but it was obvious that the other guy just did not have any kind of plan or tactic.
It was crazy. He got laid the fuck out.
I really enjoyed seeing the way that he fell flat on his face, like kind of locked up, like stiff as a board, and just kind of went down. That's what I'm there for. If I'm watching a fight, I want to see that shit. A
true to the heart knockout.
I mean, but with like the spunk that he came into that with, it was just really, it was fun to see.
That was the definition of when people say like knocked out cold.
Yes. I thought he might have been dead.
Oh, they said they have the knockout. Let's watch it again.
Can we watch it? That was fun.
He's singing the hymns. He's trying to get
One more time.
One more time. That was crazy. Oh no. It's so bad.
Wait, let it keep going for a second. And I'll tell you when to pause it. Right there. Stop. Oh wait, go back. Back more. Back more. Right there. That looks like I was staying with Emily for a couple weeks, and every night I'd make her crack my back. Legitimately how I lay down when I make someone crack my back.
You're just dead. You're
hands to the side, face to the side. That's how you do it.
Yeah, no, he is not feeling good today.
No, but you know who was feeling great? Jake Paul. He felt like the man. I actually ended up going to his after party. He had an obviously very COVID friendly after party. And wow, he is sort of a douche.
I couldn't have ever guessed.
I gotta say, dude, I was like, wow, you really live up to who you are.
So wait, where was this after party? Was it like at a space or at his house or
At his house in Calabasas.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about the home? What's it
The
like?
home is fucking huge.
Of
I
course.
mean, you could literally look. I'm sure you can look up Jake Paul's. I think it's called like Big 10 or Top 10, whatever he does. The house, because it's the house that he lives in with all the YouTubers. It's like their like hype house, and it's just this like 14-bedroom mansion in Calabasas.
Fun.
And it
sounds great.
Huge. They had a Lego wall.
Okay, I like the idea of a Lego wall. Is it the entire wall is made of Legos or?
No. Let me see. If Bobby pull. Oh yeah, that's the house. It's so nice.
Okay, that's pretty sick.
It was so big. Actually, those little things in the front in the driveway, he turned those into Rubik's cubes. Which I really liked. Yeah, that was a Lego wall.
All right, that's pretty cool. I don't hate the Lego wall.
It was so cool, and it had little holes in it with like actual communities, and the holes had lights that you can flip them up so you can see inside.
So there's people living. There's Lego people living in the walls.
I put if you go to my Instagram, I put on my story, I put my own little Lego in there because I was like, I want to be a part of this wall forever. So I took a Lego from the wall, I snuck it when no one was looking, and then I put it into the community.
Oh, so you moved a Lego.
Mm-hmm.
You've thrown off the flow on the Lego wall, and they'll never know about it.
They'll never know. But
I
yeah,
really
he
like
was
that.
he was nice. I mean, like, honestly, he wasn't rude or anything. He just is who he is.
You can't stop a man from being who he is.
Even if it is douchey.
Come on.
But he was great. He was very welcoming and really sweet. And Emily was cold and he got her a hoodie and he's like, was nice. But he's Jake Paul. Like, he is not Jake Paul. You know, when you're like, oh, you're just a troll for social media. It's like, no, that's who you are. He's himself. Which you gotta kind of respect.
I mentioned this last night, that I don't actually know the difference between him and his brother. I couldn't tell you which one's the older one, which one's the younger one. I couldn't tell you which one took a video of himself in the suicide forest in Japan. I don't know the difference between them. And I think that if that holds true for a lot of people, I think that that's working to their benefit because they could both do shitty things and everybody could just assume that if they're doing a good thing, it must have been the brother that did a shitty thing.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
The way that I was 2 seconds away from going up to his brother and being like, incredible knockout. I was so fucking close. They look exactly the same.
Which one is which? And even
I still don't know. I think Jake is the one in the red.
I think the one that fought last night is the one in the red, but yes. I still can't tell you which one is the older one and which one's the younger one. And I still can't tell you which one did the suicide
thing. I'm like, I have no idea. I don't know.
I'm like, would they let you do a fight? Would they let you do a fight if you also took a video of yourself in the suicide forest? I'm assuming maybe it was the brother, but I don't know.
Yeah, they'll let you do a fight. Conor McGregor raped someone.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of them rape.
The thing about fighting is like say whatever they want. They had musical guests last night saying the N-word. Like, they don't care when it comes to fighting.
The musical guests did not do it for me last night. Can I say that? I don't think it's cool to rap in an empty room. I think that if you're going to rap, you need to, I think singing is even rough, but I think rap, like hip hop in particular, is really, really, really hard to do just to the camera.
Right.
I noticed points where there were like two artists on stage rapping whilst looking into one another's eyes because they had nobody else to make eye contact with. And it felt a little gay. I'm not going to lie. I feel like you can't be like doing this like heavy, like hard rapping and looking into your bro's eyes.
Right. For so long.
And they were like dancing at each other because they had nobody else to like direct their moves towards. No. And for me, it didn't work. I don't know.
No, I don't like that at all.
I didn't like it.
I kind of understand it though, because I've been doing stand up in a fucking window for 2 months.
I can't imagine. I mean, I understand that it's difficult for the performer as well and that there's no way around it, really. But I definitely noticed that the hip hop performances were hitting very differently.
Also, like so many old artists, like they had Neo and like who else?
I thought Neo sang the national anthem pretty beautifully, though.
He did. No, his voice was like butter, but Neo, like I didn't even know Neo was alive still.
Who's Neo?
That it's just like picking someone off the street that can sing. French Montana, YG, Snoop. Snoop fucking killed it. Snoop killed the entire night. Snoop should commentate anything that has a commentator on it. He was so funny.
I'm pretty sure it was Lewis last night when Neo was singing the national anthem. Lewis was like, "Is anybody going to take a Neo?"
No.
Like that.
Oh, I hate when Lewis gets a good one.
That was a really good one.
It is. It is a really good one. I'm pissed.
Yeah, no, Snoop should commentate everything that has a commentator. I actually do agree with that.
It was so good. It was like when Marshawn Lynch did the National Geographic thing.
I want to see, that I was just thinking of that. I particularly want to see Snoop commentate pretty much every event in the Olympics.
So fun.
I want to see like the gymnastics. I want to see what Snoop has to say about all the ladies up there doing their tricks and shit.
He fucking killed that. That was him. What he did last night was such a perfect example of like how being yourself will get you more work. Because now everybody's like, we want Snoop to commentate everything. And all he was doing was not being like fake and being like, oh, good left jab. He was like, ooh, no. You know, being like so Snoop-like.
Yeah, no, he was getting he was getting like major pops in the room for us. We were like all cracking up.
We were dying. At one point, I was with a bunch of men and they kept trying to make jokes. And I go, can you guys stop being unfunny so I can hear the funny jokes? I was like, they were all trying to make like their own. It's a nightmare to watch anything with comics.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It depends. It depends on who it is. Sometimes it's the best to watch things with comics.
Totally. Not bad. Not if someone funnier is commentating though. Like that Snoop thing was funnier than anything the comics were saying.
Yeah. Bobby's right. Snoop had the best line during the Tyson fight where he goes, "This looks like my two uncles fighting during a barbecue."
It's so funny. It's so funny. Oh, it's so funny.
It was great. Was Snoop at the after party?
No.
Yeah, it's like why would Snoop ever go to Logan Paul's or Jake Paul, whichever one of them?
I actually thought he was going to be there, but yeah, I guess if you're Snoop, you don't go hang out with Jake Paul.
It actually felt like a stupid question after I asked it, but I'm not even sure if it is. I don't know what
I felt the same way. I thought he was going to be there, and when I got there, I was like, yeah, why would he be here? I was like, why am I here? I should go.
Why am I here?
There was like, he had like one of those wrestling rings outside. There's just drunk hot girls fighting each other.
You should have jumped in.
I wanted to, but I also I didn't want to be the person that could actually fight and hurt someone.
I'll kill a bitch in there.
Yeah, they were being like cute and sexy, and I was going to go in like aggressively with my muscle.
How funny. Kim, I'm so upset that you didn't fucking snap a girl's arm at
just throw a bitch in an arm bar and a triangle until she passes out.
So
hold her head down in it.
To have like some sort of TMZ article about how ambulances needed to be called to his house last night because you went wild.
I went too hard.
You went too hard. Oh, disappointing, but awesome. That does sound great. Your whole weekend sounds like it was a total success.
I had the most fun weekend. I had such a fun weekend.
That's great. I ate too much food on Wednesday and I've been feeling knocked out, tired ever since. That's my whole weekend.
Thanksgiving weekend will do that to you. It'll just make you feel tired.
Truly. I'm okay with it though. It's been nice to relax a little bit.
The second I close this laptop, I'm taking a nap.
Good for you. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Kimmy, we have a few minutes left. Do you want to see what what the diary of Alex Frank has to offer us this week?
Oh shit. Yes. All right. Yeah, you guys, let's move on to our newest and most fun segment, the diary of Alex Frank. That's the best name. I'm sorry. It is so rude.
I've been dreading this since last week because I'll tell you, the first one that Frank read, it was tougher for me than I thought it was going to be. It really was.
Okay, good.
I've been dating an Irish guy. I had to explain to him that I don't really hate the Irish.
You fucking hated Irish people in that last diary thing.
The way that I went in being like, the fucking drunk will be just like his drunk father, a bartender his whole life. How sad, how Irish of him. All of the Irish.
All the Irish are fucking pigs. May I never be with one.
His stupid ginger hair, obviously he's soulless and he'll never amount to anything in his life, and it's mostly just because he's Irish. Jesus.
Never would I ever in my entire life do a drug or date an Irish.
I really had some explaining to do. It was, let's see what this week has to offer, I guess. Jesus.
All right, Francis, show us what we're missing here. Whoa.
Okay, first of all, Frank is in the annex.
No, Frank, no. Frank, no. We're going to get canceled. That is so funny. Come back. That is so
come back, Frank.
Please come back. I don't care if we get canceled. It's worth it. Frank, no, stay in the attic, motherfucker. You gotta
make up your mind.
Read from the attic. Don't listen to me. I'm just, please read from the attic. Francis, if you guys are just listening, Francis just popped up with a video. In his background was a small attic. All right, the diary of Alex Frank. Frank, what do you got for us?
Oh, it's a shorter entry, but I've skipped ahead to when Alex is 17.
Okay, so we're in the next book now.
Yes.
Oh, God. Okay.
It's from August 4th, 2010.
Alex is trying to remember what hoary thing she did that day.
Already know exactly what was going on in my life around August 4th. Because that was the summer that I first started hooking up with guys, like, for real.
I can tell by Francis's face he is so excited to tell this one.
It's okay.
I know this one is gonna make me hate myself. Go on.
No, it's a lot lighter than last week's.
Why?
I think Alex took it hard last week.
Frank, I'm telling you right now, if you start picking boring entries to spare Alex, you're not going to be my producer anymore.
Oh, no.
I swear to God.
It's not that it's boring, but the juiciest entries are very long, and I think I need to break them into parts.
Oh, God. You have to Cliff Notes her hornet because she puts it into such graphic detail.
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
All right, so from August 4th, 2010. Okay, so it's been a while, and there's actually so much to catch up on. Bria's in bed next to me, and she hasn't gotten up yet, so this seems like the perfect time to write about my summer a little. Shit. Where do I start?
I hate that I took time to write lines out like, shit, where do I start?
That's like writing in your journal and being like, I got to go to the bathroom. Be right back. Okay, I'm back.
There's a lot of narration in this diary.
She's a writer.
It's been amazing. I pretty much smoked weed every day.
Big shift.
Every day, LOL. There's LOL after that. But I'm going to take a break when the school year rolls around.
I really hate to say this, Frank, but you can't skip the LOLs. I need to know where I'm LOLing at myself.
It's just half in cursive and half in print, so it confused me for a second. Here's a typical day for me. 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Smoke weed in my room and do house chores. 1 p.m. Bria picks me up. 1:15? Question mark? Drive around and smoke up the Jetta. Another question mark? Evening activity of further substance abuse. This is the life. Shit, she's waking up. Gotta go.
Alex, are you okay? Were you okay? You're literally, you wrote down your schedule first of all, the beginning of the diary entry was like, all I do is smoke weed now. It's so crazy. Let me tell you about my days, though. And then you just put every hour on the hour that you were getting high. You didn't put any other information except
I put question marks around when I'm not getting high.
You were like, I don't know, like hang out with my family or something. Question.
I mean, the question marks are my favorite part, that it's like, if I'm not getting high, I don't know what I'll be doing.
So funny.
So this is
Other
3
substance
years.
abuse.
This is only just about 3 years before the diary entry that we read last week, where I said that I should. Yeah, this is 3 years after I said that I should slap myself if I ever decide to smoke weed or do drugs. And I talked shit on that Irish guy because his New Year's resolution had been to try pot. And I said that that's sad and disgusting.
Yeah, and he just wanted to try it once, not put a whole schedule of his day being pot smokers.
Yeah, I mean, at least this diary entry is like a little bit more consistent with who I am today, except that I obviously, I don't know. It's interesting. I feel like whenever you like start smoking weed as a teenager, it's like the only thing you could talk about for like a year. Like you have to smoke enough weed to get beyond talking about it constantly. Yeah. So I think that you caught me here in this diary entry in that phase of like, weed is the only ththing I know.
Isn't it weird when you meet an adult that's like not a teenager and they get excited about weed? Like you're smoking, they're like, are you smoking a joint? Oh, they just get me fucked up. And they'll act like that. And I'm like, what's going on here?
How old are you? When did you, is this your first time?
Is this your first weed?
Is this your first weed?
Oh my God.
Yeah, no,
I love the question marks in your day when you're like, I don't know, lunch or something. Anyways, right after I smoked more weed.
More substance abuse later tonight.
Oh God. Did you mean weed?
Yeah, I'd never done any. I mean, I would drink alcohol at the time, I guess. But that was
if I was
more
your
of
mom, I'd be like, she's on other drugs besides weed. If I read that, I'd be like, what does that mean? Coke?
If you read the words substance abuse, that reminds me of this time I was going away to ballet camp with one of my friends who like, she was super innocent and didn't smoke, didn't drink, didn't do anything. And her mom knew that I was like a little bit of a bad influence. And her mom was nervous about sending her away to camp with me. And months leading up to camp, we were like so excited, texting each other about it all the time. And I mentioned to her how ripped we were going to get at camp. I was like, dude, Alexa, we are going to get so ripped. Do you understand? Like, I don't even think you understand. And genuinely at the time, I was talking about like our bodies, because like ballet camp every single day for like 9 hours, you're doing ballet. And I was expressing how amazing we were going to look by the time we got back. Right. But her mom fucking blew this shit up and made an entire thing about how she read through her daughter's text messages and I was talking about getting ripped at camp and how are you guys planning on bringing alcohol? How are you getting ripped? And I just remember like being embarrassed, like having to like explain to her. I was like, no, I literally meant like getting ripped. Like
working out.
Like we're going to like, we're obsessed with ourselves. We just want to get abs.
So annoying of her.
So annoying.
When you told her like, no, I meant ripped like abs, was she like, oh, sorry? Or did she like double down and be like, I don't believe you?
No, she was angry at me, yelling at me.
She probably truly was like, oh, maybe that's what they mean, but it was too late by then. She was like, you know what? I just got to continue being angry.
Yeah. We still got to go to camp together and we did get ripped. So there.
And we did get fucked up and high.
I remember I had an opportunity to smoke weed for the first time at that ballet camp, and I was like, no, I'll never.
I'm a ballerina. Ballerinas don't smoke weed.
That was literally the summer before this diary entry.
Before it all went question mark. Before it all got questioned.
It all went question mark.
Before the old schedule.
The need to write that schedule is my favorite. It's like, okay, so 7 a.m., get high, 8 a.m., like whatever, I don't know, 9 a.m.
Hold on, let me go feed my dog. Okay, I'm back. So 9 a.m.
Shit, where do I even start? I really hate the narration. It's really bothering me. I hate myself. It's fine. It's fine. This has been the Diary of Alex Frank. It's a good fucking one this week, guys.
Yay! Francis said it's rough.
Frank said that he switched to the second book because he could no longer bear watching 14-year-old me have a conversation with herself. He was like, I needed a break from the echo chamber of 14-year-old Alex.
Oh, fuck. It's so crazy that you have those. So crazy.
Yeah.
Shit. Well, that was so fun. I think this was such a fun episode.
Me too.
It went by so fast.
It blew by. It blew us.
It literally blew. It sucked us dry.
It sucked me dry. I gotta go to sleep now.
It really fucking. It really cleaned me out.
That one's fucked up. It cleaned me out. This episode kind of floated my boat, you guys. So I gotta go.
This episode
sail.
really pinched my nipples.
I'm done. I can't.
Okay, I'm done too. You guys, thank you so much for listening to another episode of Broad
This
Topics.
episode did wet my whistle. Thank you, Bobby.
You guys can follow me on Twitter at Kimberly Congdon, on Instagram and TikTok at Kim Congdon. And Alex, where can they find you, baby girl?
You guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at I am Alex Scar, and head to gasdigitalnetwork.com where you could get a 14-day free trial with promo code Topix, Topix. You're going to get access to every single show, every single episode of Broad Topics. I'm flubbing this. What do we get? You get every episode of Broad Topics on demand, every episode of every other show on the network on demand, live chats, bonus content, all the stuff. GasDigitalNetwork.com, promo code Topix. Do it.
Yes, sir.
Y'all.
All right, you guys. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much for listening. We love you. And see you later.
Bye.
Bye.